What's poppin', Guardians? So with Warden's Law being released this week, it's been a rush to get these type of video out because normally I would do a 1-minute weapon review, but Warden's Law has a lot going for it, especially being the newest frame, which is a heavy burst hand cannon. There's a lot of weird things happening with this. There's a lot of weird perk interactions, and being the first one, there's only a handful of perks that we can work with, and there's a lot of theory crafting we have to do because there's been a lot of weird but fun but also odd things going on with this weapon. As you can see with the gameplay itself, there is some moments where the gun feels very crispy, and there is some moments where the gun feels like absolute garbage, and that's what we're here to talk about. Instead of doing a minute review, we're gonna take a look into it.
The Titan boots, not terrible.
So I'm gonna say that the concept is really cool, but the execution is not there.
I just don't know what.
Say that part.
Don't spend all that ammo in one.
Get worm, nerd!
Don't be. That's a power.
Oh, they gave me another worm? Now you f***ed up.
Oh. That's how they made you go. Good.
So what has changed from Warden's Law exactly? Well, back then, Warden's Law used to be a 110, back when 120s were what they are now, and it shot 2 bullets exactly at the same time, which is splitting the bullets itself in damage. It was interesting, but not really practical. So now Bungie thought, well, what if we make Crimson into a legendary version and made it more quote-unquote fair or unique? Well, now we have Warden's Law, a heavy burst hand cannon, which now shoots 2 bullets in a burst similar to like a pulse rifle, more like Graviton Lance and Revision Zero's 2-burst frame. Now the main trick with this is that you want to align your shots together, that way they're not bouncing all over the place and you're having a hard time hitting your target. The main thing I noticed is that this worked a lot better long range, and close range, you're gonna have a very hard time. So first off, let's talk about the recommended roles and what you should shoot for. For my role that you're gonna see in the majority of the footage, because I did swap through different type of Warden's Laws, it's gonna have Chambered Compensator, Appended Mag, Perpetual Motion, Kill Clip, and Range Masterwork. Mostly what I was first shooting for. But then things started to change in my opinions for the gun, as there was different type of perk combinations that were just working better and more consistent than anything else. There is a secret sauce tips that are going to be shown later in the video, so stick around for that. Starting off with the recommended perks is going to be Perpetual Motion, Moving Target, Snapshot, Enlighten Action, Zen Moment, Rampage, Kill Clip, and Frenzy. The fourth column is just all about damage, keeping it consistent either after a kill or, waiting for Frenzy to proc. Zen Moment as well being the setup to make it so your gun feels better, and it's all about feel with this gun because it's very tricky to use. The third column is all about consistency in stats and making sure to make up for the lack of stats, as even though it's one of the newest weapons, it still seems to be reeling back in the past where the stats isn't as strong. I ought for a Grandmaster Nightfall weapon, especially being returned to the game, but I guess it was done for a purpose. So with all these different type of perks, what is the best combination? I did give you a handful for a reason, because all of them do a different role and they'll change up your playstyle dramatically. Originally, I wanted Kill Clip for the double tap potential, as 2 bursts is very much possible with Kill Clip being active. So why am I not solely recommending only Kill Clip? Well, Zen Moment is also there to keep your reticles in place, so that way your burst is not being shot around everywhere or around the target's head. You want to make sure to have a consistent feeling gun in tight situations, because it's going to happen often where you think you're going to win that gunfight, but your one bullet just missed. And that's where the damage perks like Kill Clip, Rampage, Frenzy, and the consistency perk Zen Moment comes into play. So you think, oh, we should build into range, right? You want to have a good coverage in long range. No, you actually want to cover the weakness of the weapon, which is the very low handling, and thinking about that it's still a pulse rifle or 120 hand cannon, very much value and stability. You're gonna want to invest in perks like that, especially in the barrel, which you should be using Fluted Barrel, and you should also be using the magazine perks, Tactical Mag, Appended Mag, or Extended Mag to be covering the lack of room for missing shots, because the ammunition is very low.
What's that do? Just because this first thrall explosion plus incandescent, and if I have sweaty confetti. You know what style I need you to give me? the pillar man intro.
Oh yeah. That dude is racist. It's in D2 Foundry.
I remember the match.
So again, kill clip is very good, as it's going to make it so 2 burst potential with a 25% boost of damage after a kill when you're reloading. Rampage, on the other hand, you can get a 2 burst potential either on the 2nd or 3rd stack. And yes, it's very much possible to have this if you have a magazine perk that extends your magazine. That way you have more kill potential, because you're only going to have 8 bursts, which is 16 bullets in total in the magazine, because when this gun shoots, it shoots 2 bullets at once. Therefore 16 divided by half, it's going to be 8, so you only have 8 shots. When you use Rampage, make sure to have a mag extender, such as extended mag, appended mag, or tap mag. Now, Frenzy and Zen Moment are basically the same perk in terms of give it time and it's gonna perform for you. Zen Moment for me didn't feel as good, but for the other clanmates who I was playing with did say that Zen Moment felt a lot better for the gun itself. Now, I haven't tried out Frenzy, but I did want to try out Frenzy because when Frenzy's proc, after 12 seconds of combat, you're gonna get 100 handling and 100 reload, which just completely 180s the gun itself. Uses a Gemini Jester and you're gonna have a great time. Pro tip on the 3rd column, and something you should add on your mod: quick access sling and snapshot sights completely do what like Frenzy does, gives it 100 handling. It overrides a lot of the clunkiness of the gun. Use that and other things such as Enlighten Action, because constantly doing damage is going to increase your reload and handling, which is great. Perpetual Motion makes up for the lack of stats. Oh, and if you're looking for PvE, go for 4 times the charm and go for Vorpal, as Vorpal is 20% free damage on bosses, and 4 times the charm is infinite ammo. Essentially, Lucky Pants, you're going to have a lot of fun there. Now let's dive into the do's and don'ts of the weapon. Do use this in long range, because this weapon itself feels a lot better in long range engagements. Very far, you're going to be able to hit shots a lot easier, because that's how the gun is intended to use. It's used for long range combat. It kind of breaks that medium hand cannon range. It tries to go for as far as it can, although you're not really going to see it out compete with like pulse rifle versus scout, or definitely not scout rifle, especially not a Dead Man's Tale. Don't try that. Just, try to compete against 120 ranges and most auto rifle ranges. Don't hip fire at all. It is very hard to land shots. So if you're caught up close, you better be using a shotgun. You better be using something else. If you really want to be that person, use a fusion rifle. Just use something else rather than Warden's Law. You're gonna have a hard time. Do, however, pair this with exotics to increase your handling, such as Ophidian Aspects, Dragon Shadow, Speedloader Slacks, anything that works. Titans are gonna have a harder time with this weapon, but you can make do with Rally Barricade by placing that before engagements to make up for the reload. Do not use this weapon in air, even with good AE. Trust me.
Killed by the architects.
Oh my god, are that dog? What the hell was that dodge?
Shh, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you okay?
No. What the? Dude, this gun sucks in the fucking air! Ugh. And also, do keep all the rolls that you have, because I'm pretty sure Bungie might buff this gun just a little bit. And if it gives it enough help that it's going to need, then it's going to be a top tier contender. It won't probably be top 10 meta, but it will be something very strong to use, such as Lemon or Jotun. Guns that can be annoying or very strong, but you don't see as often. So keep that in mind. So what do I think about Warden's Law? It's a good start. I like the heavy burst frame. I just don't like Warden's Law itself. The perk pull and the gun frame itself makes it a little rough to use. So I'd like to see a new different type of design for this gun, as it did make it a little bit hard because the iron sights aren't the greatest. I would like to see scopes on these type of weapons. Imagine an ACOG scope on Warden's Law. That would be sick, and that probably help out the gun very much. And the major things I hated about this, it was very hard to hip fire. I always had the mindset of, hey, I have a hand cannon, let me hip fire when I need to. It just never happened. It was never beneficial. And being in the air, I hated that I couldn't be in the air. It sucked. It was rough, but oh well, it is what it is. But the major things I did like about this gun is that kill clip felt very, very, very good when I was hitting those shots and getting 2% on targets that just were not expecting it. My final rating on the gun itself on Warden's Law, it's going to be a 2 out of 5. It's good. It's very close to a 3 out of 5. It had better perks and was a little bit more easy to access. Then I would very much shoot it up to a 3 out of 5. However, the heavy burst frame hand cannon, 3 out of 5. Pretty good, pretty solid. I would like to see future iterations to talk about it more. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comment section below if you enjoy these more in-depth reviews with weapons, or you prefer the weapons review in under a minute. I'm kind of at an impasse. I like both are fine. I like talking about the in-depths of it, but it's just I feel myself I can explain something if it's good or not in under a minute easily. So check that out. Let me know in the comments below, and until then, take it easy, Guardians.